Hey guys, welcome to Tiny House Customs. I'm Dan, and in this 3-part video series, I'm going to show you how I installed my shower. So this is part 2 of a 3-part video series. If you didn't catch part 1, the link's in the description below. Be sure to check it out. So let's pick up where we left off in the last video. Drill, plumbing. Oh, gotta shut the water off. So I need to take these T's and put them inside of here. Now if you see from this point to this point, it's about a 1/2 inch. So I'm going to make 2 cuts in each pipe, and I'm going to take out a 1/2 inch of material. So I'm going to slip the compression rings. The lighting is probably horrible. You probably can't see what I'm doing. Now before I put these on, I want to connect this pipe onto here because it would be very difficult to do it when the pipe's there. I'll take my scrap pipe, hold it roughly there, and there's no way it's going to be longer than that. Now since this pipe has a natural curve, I'm going to try to use that to my advantage here and hook this T up to it so that that curve comes up like this. Fuck that one up. Damn. Fuck that up. So I bought these test plugs so that I can be sure I didn't screw up. Since I got one that's kind of bad down there, I'm going to test these lines, make sure they're good before I go any further. I'm going to turn the water back on. I hope that's good because that'll be a pain in the ass to fix. Damn. You should just fix it. So when I crimped this ring, I put it too far over and it really didn't get a good seal like the rest of them have been. It almost looks like it sat on top of a lip that's on the fitting. So just to save myself a headache later, I'm going to fix this one. So I'm going to cut the pipe back. So I cut it back, I took that ring off. I'm going to be a little more careful this time. Now I can sleep easy. I'm still going to go pressurize the lines to make sure they're good. So this stud now needs to get 2 holes drilled in it. Now I'll take that stud, feed these lines into those 2 holes. Alright, so I fed those 2 pipes in. I just need to make a notch for the vapor barrier. That went through the floor. So now I'm going to work on the floor that the shower sits on. What a mess. So I got all my pieces for my flooring. These are my 2 end plates. I'm going to lay it out. I'm going to have a joist on the ends. And then I'm just going to randomly space them out kind of. One there, one there. Now I didn't have enough 2x6, so these 2 will be at a 2x4. So this is going to be like the step up, and this will basically be my only access point into where the drain connects. So instead of nailing it, I'm going to use some screws and I'll connect it that way. So if I ever do have to get in there, I'll just have to take some screws out. And before you ask, nails are stronger than screws. Yes, they are. Nails are stronger than screws. So this needs to be flush with the top of that drain, and that drain's at 5 3/4. This equals 5 1/2. So what I've done is I've ripped some strips, and I'm just going to nail them on to this perimeter. Doesn't need to be too fancy. All right, so I made sure I had a nice clean floor there. Beautiful. Yeah. That'll work. I'm going to go in and I'm going to screw it in just in case it ever has to come out. I'll be able to remove it. I'm going to cut my 3/4 plywood for this. Now this circle, I'm going to cut probably like an 8-inch circle here. If I ever have to get to this, I'll be able to reach in here and tighten stuff down and work with that. Hope that's right. Hope that's right. It's going to be tight. Won't be the worst I've ever seen. Shower head's going to be right there. Let us put the shower on top of this. Let's see how we're doing. You want to make sure you take all these screws out that are in the shower before you install it, because it'll be a pain to take out once it's installed. No reason for them. Just so when it's shipping it doesn't crack it. Uh-oh. So this is exactly what I was going for. I wanted this to be back just a little bit. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a piece of trim board here probably. Or I might do a small stair tread so it's easier to get up into the tub. But I've made a mistake. When I took this measurement from that back piece to here, I figured that that back piece was level with the top here, but it's not. So if you see here, this is where this needs to go. But if you follow it down, it's clearly not running in the correct spot. The tub actually needs to go right about there. So I need to add to this thing. I also need to change out my my drain. That's going to be in the wrong spot as well. That sucks though. So instead of going back all the way to the beginning and fixing my mistakes, I'm going to work from this point. I'll fix one mistake and I'll go back. I'll fix that mistake. I'll go back. I'll fix that mistake. And then I'll put it all back together. So first thing I got to do is figure out the correct distance that it was supposed to be. So when I got that bottom measurement, I should have just measured this right here, which is 32 inches. I mean, that's what I had, 32, oh, 30 3/4. I should have known. Son of a bitch. That was a stupid mistake. Good, got the drain marked out. Now that drain, I kind of feel like should be in the correct spot. It's not. It should be 16 inches center to center. Oh, that's all right. So the only thing I have to fix is this. I need to pad this out 1 3/4 inches. And when I say pad out, I just need to add some material so that it brings it to the correct distance. 32. You're on drugs. I need to rip 1/4 off of that. I'm going to rip this down, take 1/4 inch off of this. All right, so I ripped that 2x4. All right, let me put it back in and see how far off the pipe is. Made to fit. Tell you what. Peanut! These are the instructions for a tub I don't have. That's great. You fucking idiots. So on the back of this tub, for some reason they glued a block down right there. And it's making my tub sit up high. So what I'm going to do is notch the plywood out so that that'll sit down. And then there is supports that run on this, and those supports will sit down flat, and I'll apply my, they say to apply thin set, I'm going to just apply some glue obviously because I love me some TL. 14 and 18, 14 and 2.5, 5.5. So that little block is located right there. So I pulled all my numbers. I'm going to mark it out. Doesn't need to be too big, too accurate. All right. Be the second to last time that we put it in. I can tell you that that fits in there good. So I got the tub where it's got to go. It sits in there nice. It's solid. It's not rocking. It's tight along here. It's tight along here. Just check 59 1/8. So it's running level. It's sitting where it's got to go. So the only problem that I have now, before I fasten everything down, is this monstrous fuck up. You would think it would be easy to remove, but no, it's a fucking nightmare. Yay. Alright, so I put the tub up and the drain was off a little bit. So what I did was I took a picture from above so I could see how far it was off. Now I need to figure out how to move this pipe to the correct location. So I'm going to take this plywood up. So if I look at that picture, I know this needs to come forward about 1 inch and to the left about 1 inch, maybe 1.5 inches this way. So I can get it side to side where it's got to go. I just need to come out this way a little bit more. Hopefully I got a coupler. You know, thinking back on this, what I should have done was built this, left this hole here, and then I could have plumbed this into that pipe there. So I would have been able to make this work. Now I'm going to have to do some jerry-rigging stuff I don't really like to do. So before I glue that up, I'm going to check it once again. I love checking it. So I'm still a little off, but this pipe's got some flex in it, and I can get it to where it's got to go. Since I pulled that pipe out, I'm going to mark these So when I glue this up, I'm not going to go completely in because I need to add about 1/4 inch to my length. Somebody's going to have a problem with that. Probably won't put it in the video because I don't want to hear it. So when I glued it up, I also gave it a little kink in it, so it won't be running perfectly straight. I'm sorry, I've been doing so good. This whole project, I've been really quality craftsmanship, but this one, I just don't know what to do. I would need 2 couplers, or I would need some 22s. To date, this is the biggest hack thing I've done. I'm gonna let that harden up before I start wailing on it. I'm gonna get a little cocky here and assume this is gonna fit now. Now, how is one supposed to tighten that down? Fuck if I know. So I tighten that down real tight so that that gasket started squeezing just a little bit, not too much. All right, so it's sitting in there perfect. The only thing is I got to bring it up about 1/2 inch. So I'm going to take it out one more time, shim it up 1/2 inch. So I'm going to screw this plywood down. It ain't coming back up. That's for sure. Now this will be the last time. So in the bottom of this fitting, there's a rubber washer, and then there's this thing that screws, and that pushes down on that rubber washer, which tightens down that fitting. They give you this special adapter, which you remove after you install it, and it's got a slit for a a flathead screwdriver. I don't like it. I didn't go high enough. That needs to come up more. It's not doing what I wanted it to do. So what's happening, it won't go down because there's a nut on this fitting. So I'm just going to smooth it down so that it'll slide over it. So that really important piece of metal that I need for this just fell down into the hole. And it ain't coming back. What a nightmare this is becoming. So when I blew the line with the air hose, the piece that I needed came out. So that was good. And you just dropped it in there again. Did you see it that time? Dumbass. I'm going to pre-drill all my holes. You might be able to screw through it. I just want to be safe. I don't want to crack it. So I'm going to pre-drill them. I'm using 1¼ inch exterior screws. So what do you say we do some plumbing? Next video maybe? I don't know. This is a nightmare. I'm about 9 hours in. So part 3 will be listed in the description below, so be sure to check them out. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you're new to my channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you would, leave your comments down below, letting me know what you thought. And if you want to show your support for my channel, you can click right up there and show your support. Thanks so much for watching, guys. You gotta stay in the shower. You're bringing water out of the shower. I don't want to be in the shower, okay? So don't tell me about bringing water out of the shower, because the water was in the shower to begin with. You put the water on me, and I'm bringing the water out of the shower. I don't want to fucking hear, dude. You love your bath? No. Give me kisses. Please send help. We live in... No, Peanut, you don't tell where we live. It's top secret. No, I want them to come rescue me.